doodle-doo clock squawking on the nightstand, slapping the alarm. I stumble to the pipe, got coffee on the stove top. Top button of the blue collar, time to make a boot swap. Out the front door, yeah, sun ain't even up yet. Lunch break, buy a couple sweet tea, swallers right back to making them dirt road dollars. Chicken peeling shucks ain't like water, farm boy dough, 24 karat gold corn grows. Lunch break, buy a couple sweet teas. You don't wanna know what the cheddar parts cost. I can get you up dirt road dollars. Come Saturday night, I'll take my baby out on the town. And on Sunday, it's church. Then lay around the house. Yeah, we're making them dirt road dollars. Way out yonder, having them hollers, doing it like our fathers. Up on them tractors, out in them pastures, making it rain like water. Farm boy dough, 24 karat. Gold corn grows. Lunch break, buy a couple sweet tea. Swallers right back to making them dirt road dollars.
I'm talking about a cold beer, I'm talking about a hot country girl. I'm talking about John Deere, I'm talking about my big cousin Earl. See, I was made on McCosh Mill Road, where the rowdy folks come from. And if they ask, you can tell them we drinking, we smoking, we'll do pretty much anything but
the county line is the Bama line. I was made on the Georgia side. Venture into them Georgia pines. Find a whole lot more than pines. Find a shine. Find a different type of pine. Find the kind they'll chop down and compress it, then address it up out of town. Macaj Mill, we dead.
Well, I guess this is gonna be up on some fucking shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, so hell with it. Let's just get the motherfucking shit started. Like, it is what it is. You know what I mean? I don't know what the fuck is legitimately going on with fucking, like, yo, like, my OBS is being just straight garbage right now. Like, legit. Fucking, I don't even know what the hell the goddamn deal is. Like, anybody wants to join the motherfucking stream tonight, I am by my motherfucking self. Exel is out here doing his own motherfucking thing. You know what I mean? Like, yo, he got his own shit he's working on right now. So, you know, if y'all want to stand here and hop in and have a conversation with motherfucking me, you know what I mean? It'd be most definitely goddamn helpful. But I'm going to tell you what, we're going to get this bitch motherfucking started, get this motherfucker fired up and whatnot, and do what we got to do. Man, listen, I'm sitting in the general and motherfucking voice chat and motherfucking on Discord and shit. Like, it is what it is. I don't know whether or not that motherfucker's going to work because my internet is straight being retarded. Like, legitimately, it's not even standing here letting me motherfucking, yeah, it's not even letting me motherfucking put the goddamn chat in the motherfucking joint. I don't even know what the fucking deal is. Like, on some serious shit. Like, it's fucking completely ridiculous. Yo, I don't know what the hell is doing. It's just completely insane. You know what I mean? I don't really know. Like, so it is what it is. You know, fucking, like, we're gonna try and run and do what we gotta do and handle our business. Right? Fucking, so yeah, we're gonna remove this, add motherfucking browser, right? Browser 8. We're going to try and redo the motherfucking chat real quick and see how the hell this shit operates. I don't know whether or not it's going to work. So we'll see what the fucking deal is. You know, I'm trying at the moment to make this motherfucker run and whatnot. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But like I say, welcome. All y'all welcome to motherfucking, you know what I mean, Pnoid motherfucking live. Yo, we out here getting it done. You know what I'm saying? Man, listen. You know what I mean? We changed the direction of the channel a little bit. I apologize. It is what it is. I can't really sit here and help that. You know what I'm saying? I'm hoping all y'all can see what the fuck it is I'm doing. See what the fuck it is I'm motherfucking saying and whatnot. Man, listen, you said maybe hang up and retry. Yeah, I already did that. I already did that once. You know what I mean? And like fucking my internet even legitimately died. Like it fucking just said no more. Here, have a wrench, Tracy. Welcome to the chat. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo. Man, it is what it is. But I like to say, what up, Terran Marine, Darkstar Mobile? You know what I'm saying? Fucking Victor Von Frankenstein. Who else is out here in the chat today? I saw Colin McLeod earlier. What up, man? Welcome. Fucking Golf City Nicholas Donka. Welcome, my brother. Welcome. And I mean, it's nice seeing everybody coming out and supporting. You know what I'm saying? You know, look, man, you don't got to moderate. You know what I mean? Everybody gets a fucking wrench. This is a wrench, no state. This is how this one operates out here. You know, this is what we do. Man, listen. Yeah, look, there we go. Get the chat back up. Got things running. Evil Dead Ed, what up, man? Welcome. All y'all welcome. So, here's the deal. All right, we're running early today. You know what I'm saying? We're going to shut it down early because I got work to do. I got to go in here, pick up this load, and get the fuck out of Dodge. I got to be up in motherfucking, whatchamacallit, I got to be up in goddamn Boston. You know what I mean? Fucking tomorrow morning and whatnot. So, it is what it is. I got work to handle, and I mean, and be honest with you, man, look, I got a sinus infection, and I ain't feeling super duper hot at the moment, but, you know what I mean, I was having some thoughts on my way to fucking the day, you know what I mean, because I just got the hell back from up in the middle of the means of destruction, welcome, you know what I'm saying, yo, so, here's the deal. You know what I mean? Excel is busy with some work shit, you know what I mean, which is cool. You know what I mean? We got love, you know what I mean? And that's how the hell this operates. You know what I mean? Got to let him do what he got to do. I'm shipping up to Boston, right? And, you know, so I'm out here on solo tonight. And I mean, I'm in the general chat in the Discord. I'm in the general voice hangout in Discord if y'all want to come hang the fuck out. You know what I mean? We're going to be talking about Detroit and the ways I think that things need to go, right? I'm going up to Boston. It's going to suck quite a bit. You know what I mean? Actually, it shouldn't be fucking terrible, right? Let the Colorado and the Rocky Mountain Trash No State unite. I don't even know if y'all have a Trash No State out there. Shadow Mask, welcome. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so here's my mentality. All right, so I did a video earlier this week about Detroit losing another 200 jobs at the steel factory, right? And there's more to come, right? And the reason why this is because, like, well, you know what I mean, the government has interfered entirely too much in the lives of human beings and in business, and stood here and forced car manufacturers to do things that, you know what I mean, they aren't able to do. You know what I mean? That's why, like, all your cars look the same today, is because, like, with all the safety features and shit, it kind of got down, you know what I mean, to the point where everybody is standing here, you know what I mean, like, you know, everybody's kind of like getting on that level where they're fucking like, they have to like meet all these stupid safety fucking shits, and it's costing so much that it ends up making everybody having to make the same goddamn car, right? That's why like all these cars look the exact same. Like there's very few differences between a Honda Accord and a fucking, you know what I mean, Chevy Cruze. They're the same goddamn car, you know what I mean? Because like, yo, like the headlights have to be the same height, the fucking, you know, the fucking windshield pillars and door pillars and shit all got to be the same thickness, and they all have to stand up and had to be made of the same metal, and the seatbelt fucking harnesses have to be the same height, and you know what I mean, the steering wheel has to be made at a certain height, and the airbags have to be a certain way, and the side curtain airbags ought to be a certain way, you know what I mean? It's fucking terrible. And with all these fucking advancements and the fact that they're like, everything has to get, you know, 50 miles to the gallon and shit and all this nonsense, they're ending up getting to the point where cars have jumped $10,000 in price. You know what I mean? From 2017 to 2018. In 2019, they jumped up another fucking like 3,000. So it's really getting to the point where You know what I mean? The average American can't afford a vehicle. And on top of that, they stood here and had cash or clunkers, which destroyed all those old cars that we all used to ride around in, you know what I mean, if you just needed to get to fucking work and handle your business. And with me, I'm more about the individual. You know what I mean? I'm an individualistic type of person. I think that you should be able to survive on your own. I think that, you know what I mean, the best way to handle business is to get out of everybody's way. You know what I mean? I think that's really fucking important. On some legitimate shit, I think it's super important that we get government out of individuals' ways. In particular, get government out of families' ways. You know what I mean? And get government, you know what I mean, out of individuals' lives and take loads off people's heads. Right? When you start taking loads off of individuals' shoulders, you know what I mean, they have the ability to stand here and, you know what I mean, and use their time and money in a better manner. Now, this is the thought behind things like UBI and shit of this nature, but, you know, it doesn't work that way. You can't just give away free fucking money. But what you can do is stop taking money from people, right? And this is where we're going to get down to with Detroit. All right. With Detroit has massive amounts of areas, right, that stands here and they're completely abandoned. Like the bears and the wolves and coyotes and shit and all these animals are moving back into these areas, right? And that is legitimately an opportunity to be able to start to experiment with what we want to do. I think, you know, I mean, I legitimately think that these individuals, right, on the left who want to like have like, you know, I mean, community gardens and things of this nature, they're not far off from where they need to be, right? In their mentality of that type of shit. Now, I don't think that it should just be like a community garden, but I do believe we should be able to rezone a lot of these places. Like, we need to get the governments the fuck out, right? Yo, Evil Dead Ed, right? Fucking like, yo, don't, yo, it's not, yo, believe me, it's not a racist thing. You know what I'm saying? Because there was plenty of black neighborhoods that were on the rise in the 1970s, you know, and they were out here, you know, I mean, being capitalists and doing the shit that they needed to do. But, you know, once like they stood here and took us completely off the fucking gold standard and shit and sat here and destroyed, you know, I mean, the fucking community and their buying power. Legitimately, that's, you know, I mean, really what happened to them. You know, like when you stand here and you start shipping jobs overseas and you start destroying the fucking buying power of individuals and you start destroying savings of people and shit. Like, you know, back in the 1950s and 60s and 70s and shit, the reason why like Americans were on the rise, like the middle class, is because the reality is that you continually had rises in pay enough that it would eat away at the interest of your mortgage to the point where you were able to afford, like, you basically weren't paying any interest on the mortgage that you had in your fucking house. And I mean, and this allowed, you know, I mean, the government to be able to raise taxes on you and not have individuals notice and be able to pay for new things, you know what I mean? And this is where all this shit came from. Right? This mentality that, you know, when we had higher taxes, like life was better as Americans. And it's a true fact, but, you know what I mean? Like, yo, correlation does not mean motherfucking causation. That's not how the hell that operated. Like, the reality is that, like, we were we were manufacturing and shipping all the world's goods out of America into other countries. And that's something that, you know what I mean, we're no longer doing. We're not the world's fucking manufacturing floor. That's what China is now. Because, you know, I mean, the corporations and the powers that be stood here and, yeah, women are communistic. I agree with you, Victor von Frankenstein. You know, I mean, that is like the legitimate thing, right? So we stand here and when you start talking about communistic environments and you start talking about socialism and you start talking about you want societies and the American dream seemed obtainable back then, but it doesn't anymore, right? It no longer seems obtainable. And the reason for this is, all right, two facts. One is the government spending entirely too much money, right? That's just a fact of life. You know what I mean? Right? Like that's just a fact of life. Let's say I build transmissions. I get it, right? Yeah, I got you, right? You know what I mean? That's just a fact of life. We can no longer stand here and, you know, we can no longer afford the American dream anymore. And I think we need to start over at zero with a lot of this shit. Like, we need to start back at an agrarian society with a lot of things, right? Not everybody, but a lot of shit. And I think the first step, legitimately, number one is first things first, you take welfare away from, the general population. Like, that needs to stop immediately. The second thing is we need to eliminate all property taxes and start giving away some of these fucking houses in places like Detroit, Chicago, let me think here, Pittsburgh, fucking Cleveland, Columbus, all these places, Cincinnati, Toledo, places where you have a lot of abandoned buildings. You have a lot of places that, you could have individuals have homes and have pride in their homes. And you could legitimately just give them to dudes who aren't working anymore. TK Mal, what's up, man? Cities can be fixed, and I'm going to show you how, right? Like, you could give away these homes, and if you take away things like property taxes, you take weight off of individuals' backs. You outlaw things like child support, right? And outlaw alimony. And the reasons why you do these things is, number one, to promote, the core family unit. Like, you want to be able to promote, basic families. You want people to have kids, stay together and do what you need to do. Victor, I got you. But like, if things become, on a positive level, you don't need to be a monk no more. Legitimately popping hot. What up, my brother? How the fuck you doing? And so, what you need to do is you need to stop standing here promoting, single motherhood. Like, that's, a very important part of this. But the second one is you need to eliminate property taxes, right? And the reason why you need to eliminate property taxes is because of the fact that I understand that the government wants you involved in work so that they can collect money off of you in the way of like fucking payroll taxes. And one of the ways that they do this is they tax property so that you have no choice but to work and earn money in order to stand here and fucking live. Like, no matter what you do, there is no way that you can just fucking stand here and live in the manner in which you want to sit here and be okay, right? You're never going to be able to fucking, like, unless you save up enough money, you're never going to be able to live because you're always going to have taxes to pay on the place where you live. You're always going to pay rent. And like around here, it's getting to the point where it's fucking ridiculous, right? yo, fucking Dark Star Mobile. Like, yo, man, look, man, it don't matter what state you come from at this point. Yeah, property tax is renting from the government. And Dingleberry, like, yo, my grandma, she lives out there on fucking 22, out there by fucking Collins and shit. You know what I'm talking about? Right? Yo, look, man, she got a big ass fucking lot. She got like fucking a 2-acre lot, right? With a fucking 4-bedroom house on that bitch. And my grandpa paid off back in like the 90s. And she's paying $6,000 a year out of Social Security to keep that fucking house, right? The Malevolent Rider. What up, man? Welcome. You know what I'm saying? Welcome, my brother. It's nice to see you out here. DK Mal as well. Popping hot, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Fucking all my boys is coming out here. We're handling our business, doing what we doing. And I rate, you know what I'm saying? I'm sorry I'm running over you at the moment, but like, yo, dude, I got to go to work tonight, right? And the issue is that you can't fucking continually have individuals stand here and rent their property from the government. Like, you can't have that. Like, because, dude, at some point, and especially at points like this where people are legitimately hurting, right? Like, we're motherfuckers like, yo, we're getting to the point where automation's taking jobs away. We're getting to the point where, there's just too many motherfuckers out here and not enough jobs. Like, it just is what it is. Like, there's no more of this fucking, yeah. Yeah, exactly, pop and hop. Same thing. Yeah, you lived on a farm for the same farm for 200 years. Why do we still have to pay property taxes? Yeah, exactly. And the legitimate thing is, you're like, oh, well, you need to pay for fire protection and police protection and all this type of shit and education. Well, let's be real. You know what I mean? Fucking, it's. Yeah, you're making 25 an hour, work 40 hours a week, and you're looking for a damn second job. I've had that same shit, Savage 30-06, bolt action. With you, my nigga. And see, and this is the part of it, right? Like, legitimately, when things get really, really hard, you can't have the government come looking to take away your fucking house. Because, BLT, what's up, man? Welcome, my brother, right? You can't have the government be willing to take your fucking house, in which they were doing en masse in 2008 and 2009 during the collapse. They were just snatching up people's houses who couldn't afford to stand here and, try to fucking like get by. You know what I mean? Like, when motherfuckers were losing their jobs, You know what I mean? Like they were standing here fucking like taking fucking people's houses and shit because they couldn't afford to pay rent to the fucking state. This needs to stop. All right. And this is where I get to like with fixing shit like Detroit. Who that be in the motherfucking Discord?
Hey, what's going on, Tom? How you doing, brother?
Chilling, man. Fucking like yo, my head rocking and rolling, getting my shit handled and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Fucking trying
Oh,
to.
dude, you were on a good little rant, man. I didn't want to interrupt. We've been
Oh,
we've
you're
been
all
kind
right.
of
Yo,
hiding here, just letting you.
I'm gonna turn Discord down just a little bit. Right there we go. There we go. All right. Can you say something now? Yo, you are echoing something crazy for me. I don't know whether that's fucking, you know what I mean, Discord or because like fucking shit's fucked up on my end.
Discord. It's Discord itself. It does once.
Yeah, Discord's fucking gay. Yeah, it's echoing on some retarded shit. Hucka Beast, welcome, my brother. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's not like any signal would be getting refracted through a prism or anything at any type of location with nodes and fiber optics or anything.
I feel you. I feel you. You know.
No, but Tom, just jumping off real quick because I actually got to go in a couple minutes. Basically, at that time, yeah, dude, if folks couldn't pay their property tax, dude, I'll be straight up. I pretty much almost effed up, and if XX misses me and wasn't like, yeah, this piece of mail, yeah, you should probably catch up with your property tax. I'm like, oh crap. But dude, it can be scary, especially a lot of those folks did have adjustable rate mortgages and stuff at the time. So if they bought it 4 or 5 years ago, once you hit that 5-year mark, it starts to adjust up. So you might have somebody with like a $750 a month mortgage, and all of a sudden that jumps up to like 2,200 because at the time, like those were being pushed because rather than okay, you qualify for $150,000 loan, all of a sudden, oh well, you know, we'll qualify up to 320. Why would people do that? Well, the higher the loan, you're right, the more payout you're going to get in your commission check and everything. It's just we incentivize a lot of those things. We had a lot of government programs as well promoting home buying, and when you combine that with some greed and chopping up these financial instruments into something that's so confusing because you're like, this probably won't go well. Yeah, that kind of contributed to what happened.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And the thing is like what happens, you know what I'm saying, when you have a whole community of individuals who are hurting to be able just to pay basic fucking needs, you know, like to put fucking food on the table because some industry collapsed, right? Like, yo, and then you go, oh man, but you still got to pay all this fucking property tax to the fucking state. Like, no, you know what I'm saying? That shouldn't be fucking happening at all in any way, shape, or form.
Some form of modification, because a lot of times what happens is the government will keep on adding on that property tax. So you might find a home that seems dirt cheap, but all of a sudden you're like, whoa, this is like $40,000 or $50,000 in property taxes that are unpaid. And I think this is actually how President Trump actually had made a lot of his money, because at least some wise real estate decisions that I'm familiar with in my area, what they would do is they would negotiate with the government. So it's like, all right, you got 35 grand. I'm not going to pay that. That property is useless to you. It's not being maintained, and you're just adding on. You know what? Get rid of like 80% of the taxes or 90% of the taxes. Grant me this easement property to zone it for business or something. And it's just there are people like President Trump that have done things like that in the past because they're knowledgeable. It's just your average Sally, Dick, or Jane. They don't necessarily know that, and it's just the information is out there. It's just I think we can better correlate it to help a lot of folks out. What do
Yeah,
Well,
I think
go ahead, man. Go ahead. Yo,
it's like
Callan.
everybody's like they buy so much stupid shit they don't need, and then they realize after like the economy is going down, they're like, oh shit, we're going broke. What are we gonna do now? It's like you're fucked.
Yeah.
I think.
They don't.
Come on.
What stop buying jumbo size shit that they don't need and go afford, like the freaking governor can't afford anything. Budget. They spend on they get screwed over for deals, and that's the reason why people are hurt. Because we got governors that spend all the taxpayers' money on shit.
Tom, I'm not sure guest audio is going through, man.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to figure out what the fucking deal is. Like it's echoing it. Like I don't know like which one of these like why it's doing this.
About that. Oh man, peace.
Yeah, hang on. Let me.
Wow. I know it's not his connection.
No. It's not. It's something in OBS. Like there's something fucking terrible, right? Like there's something going on where like it's fucking it's standing here trying to like do shit like fucking it's redoing it like 3 or 4 fucking times, right? And I'm not sure why it's fucking doing this. Like at all. Like it's fucking retarded. Yeah, like it's doing some nonsense. Right? I'm trying to fucking
It's probably dealing with that shit that fucking Doc was having issues with yesterday.
Yeah, I don't I'm trying to figure this shit out, right? Device here.
That's the thing.
OBS. Right? Say some more.
What are you using anyways for the OBS?
No, not at all. Let me see here. Monitor off. All right, say some shit.
Hello? Anybody out there? Can you hear me?
There we go. I got it. Okay.
All right.
We should be good. Your shit's still like heavily filtered in fucking Discord. So like I don't know, that's like your audio filter, and I can't fix that in Discord. There we go.
Yeah, it's because it's the phone app. It's not the. It's the only thing sucks.
Yeah, I don't know what the fucking deal is. Like I don't. Yeah, like so I don't know. What I did was I turned off the fucking monitor. Right, like yo, so now it's cool, like it's fucking doing what it's supposed to do. I wish memes would hop the fuck back in here, you know what I mean? Now we can actually have this conversation, but anyway. Yeah,
he said he had a rush to work with.
I got you. I gotta leave in like fucking like 20 minutes, but anyway, right? Yeah, so there we go. All right, so here's the situation. And Victor Von Frankenstein, it kept overlapping, and the song in the background. Yo, my bottom bitch is not here today. Like, my bottom bitch is motherfucking working and shit. Dude, I can't do anything about your fucking sound. I don't know why your sound is so fucking low. Yo, say some shit.
Yeah, it happens. It happens once in a while. It's not always perfect.
Hang on, man. I'll turn you up.
I hate Discord sometimes.
Like, because I can hear you, right? Say some.
It's other people like once.
All right. See, this is your microphone issue at the moment, right? But anyway, so here's the deal. Anyway, yeah. So here's a fucking situation. The way we fix Detroit is, and I think we should have some experiments with some of these empty fucking houses, right? With some of these empty. Yeah, well, number one, give it to the homeless, of course, right? Number two, we need to drop all property taxes. Number three, we need to stop all zoning laws. Like, this idea that you can only have certain type of things in certain places is fucking nonsense. Like, if you can run a fucking business out of, you know what I mean, fucking, like, your house or out of your backyard, whatever. If you're growing cows, if you're growing horses, if you're growing chickens, if you're growing pigs, doesn't fucking matter. You know what I mean? Legitimately, because at this point, it's about survival. Like, and we need to allow, keep dreaming. It's not a dream anymore. You know what I mean? We're kind of at that point where we're going to start having this conversation. Like, that's...
We're gonna have a little war that's gonna go on pretty soon. Nobody knows.
Yeah, like it's getting down to that point. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are getting to that level where it's desperation. You know what I'm saying? Top-down planning always fails every time. Exactly.
They're already having people robbing houses now in certain areas. So yeah.
Said, can I grow a Pnoid? We sound like, yo, look, man, all right, yo, the world can't handle one of me. All right, I put another one of me on the fucking planet, and like they had to put him in a box. Like, yo, you got to stop that shit. They don't know what to do with one of me. Yeah, again, yeah, like, dude, and this is the other half. Like, legitimately, like any help that you give people, like, yo, like if you're giving out these fucking houses, they need to go to men, not to women. All right. And that sounds fucking terrible. Right. And it's like, I hate this ideology of like, because people go, oh, man.
Really, it doesn't sound terrible because they pretty much they run everything.
Well, number one,
Appeal the 16th onward.
Oh man, he came out. What up, my brother?
Is they get so there's more privilege with women these days.
Well, the thing is that like, yo, people think that, you know what I'm saying, the moment you go like, why, like fucking moment you say anything about women, they think that you hate broads, and that's not the situation. Like, you know, fucking, and like what a lot of people don't understand is that throughout society, it wasn't women like who fucking really cared about babies or fucking kids or children in general, right? Like fucking, it's, you know what I mean, the fucking dudes who gave a shit about their progeny. You know, I mean, they're the motherfuckers who wanted their kids to pass their gene lines on. That's the reason, like, dudes created society so that they could stand here and, you know what I mean, fucking, and they could stand here and they could give out, you know, or they could stand here and fucking, like, move forward in their society and have someone to leave their fucking shit to and continue on their line in a long-term type of fucking option. And that is the way it needs to be. You know what I mean? On some real shit. Yeah, and Japan
ruined it basically with the Me Too movement.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
It's not that women think you hate broads whenever you talk about women. It's that they can't distinguish women from themselves a lot of the time. Like, dudes talk shit on other dudes all the time because they understand the concept of not all.
Well, dudes understand that like dudes have inherent value upon themselves, right? Like guys understand that each individual guy is an individual, right? But females legitimately, like they don't see that because women have no value to society other than their vagina and looks. And they never really have to actually fucking like put forward any effort into their intellect or, you know what I mean, anything of this nature because every dude in the world's trying to talk to them so they can fuck them. You know what I mean? The Outlaw Torn, man. Welcome. You know what I'm saying? Welcome, my brother. How the fuck you doing? And I mean, do you have a fucking wrench? Like, yo, let me see here. Gay Gin Chonic, motherfucking, like, yo, you don't even have a goddamn wrench. Here we go. Oh, wow.
The other thing is that responsibility and freedom and consequences are all basically the same fucking thing. So the more of that the woman has, the more of those things affect the kid, whereas only about 40% of dudes historically actually got to pass off their genes. So that's just a lower chance of it actually affecting the fucking kid.
Cheyenne Chen, welcome. You know what I'm saying? Cop Can, welcome. You know what I mean? Like, yo, remember Outlaw Torn, welcome. Man, listen, got motherfuckers out here getting it in. We're fucking handling business tonight. Yeah. Well, historically, you know, like, yo, freedom and responsibility go hand in hand, right? Like, if you don't have fucking responsibility for your freedom, you ultimately fucking end up putting the responsibility for your freedom on other individuals. And that's not the way society works in any way, shape, or form. And just like responsibility has to have authority attached to it. Like, if you're responsible for your family, you have to have authority over your fucking family. And, you know, I mean, that's how society is based. And we've gotten so far away from that to the point of where dudes now legitimately like fight against you when you talk about like dudes should have more authority. And, you know, I mean, dude should have responsibility. Like, yo, like I'm fully behind the ideology that fucking like dudes should be taking responsibility for women and children. Like you should have a fucking family and kids and all this type of shit, but you should have responsibility for them. And dudes are literally just shunning that at this point because they think that they should be women. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, like, no, we're not women. Nigga, like, yo, and we shouldn't try to be women. That's not how things are. That's not how the world motherfucking is done. Oh, yo, Cop Cam, yo, man, fucking dude, holy shit. Yo, Cop Cam is a fucking channel on YouTube. I went over and checked out his stuff one time. And fucking, he did a video on GE collapsing like I did. He also does a whole bunch of stuff like Cog does, where he shows like how to like fucking deal with police. Or he doesn't. He's on the other side of things. He's one of them guys who are like big fan of standing here fucking whatchamacallit, fucking like standing up for your rights against the police like a sovereign citizen type of thing, which I'm fully behind. Like, you shouldn't be bowing down to the fucking cops either. Like, they're no more than dudes with badges. Like, what I mean? Like, hey, I got a fucking piece of metal and some paper in my hand. You got to do what I say. I'm like, fuck you, nigga. Like, who the fuck do you think you are?
Well, the thing is that men are going to be responsible no matter what, so you gotta balance out that equation. So,
Well, yeah, that's why you're supposed to have the right to vote, because ultimately it's your responsibility to like go out here and fucking like you end up having to stand here and go fight the fucking wars when shit goes sideways. You know what I mean? Like, so like if you have that responsibility, like if you're gonna be the one who's gonna die for this society, you have to have the authority over that society. That tends to be how shit operates.
yeah, I think more men would be more protective of the right to vote if we had the draft still.
Well, yeah,
Conscription.
absolutely. You know what I mean? Like you could, you have to have some of these
Say
type
that-
of things.
that to women and they flip out.
Oh yeah, you know what I mean?
Conscript?
No,
Well,
it's not about the draft then,
Well,
because they would have nobody to rely on.
well, the big thing about conscription is if you conscript every years, you're gonna see the crime rate fucking just because
Yeah.
idle hands.
Well, like they're in the chat right now. Like, we got Tracy's over here trying to demand, like, hey, look here, don't be dog piling. You know what I'm saying, on the only female in the chat. Like, that's not fucking cool. You know what I mean? Like, she's out here supporting the channel. You know what I mean? She's helping motherfuckers grow and whatnot. And you know what I mean? Like, she comes out of Let's Be Frank channel, who's done a whole lot for our fucking channel and shit. Like me and him were at 300 subs at the same time. That nigga's right now at like 24,000. But it's probably because he doesn't curse or catch community guidelines strike for making fun of mariachi bands, right? Yeah. Right. But let me fucking put this to Tracy right now. Like, see, here's the issue. Like, back in the day, like talking about like before 1900, women had an integral role in a family. Like, you couldn't have a family without a woman, because like you had to have, like if a dude was going to go to work and make the money, you know what I'm saying, and do what needs to be done, right? Well, we got love for you over here, Tracy. You're not misunderstood. But if a dude was out here making money and, whatever it was, either he was farming or doing whatever, going working in some steel factory or fucking, going out and shoeing fucking horses or whatever he did, right? And, fucking, he had to have a female at home. If you had a baby, she would be the motherfucker going and beating the clothes on a rock, you know what I mean? And fucking going to the market every day to get fucking food, or tending the garden and bringing shit inside. And that was a necessity. And the issue is that we took your fucking jobs away from you, right? And when we did this, we ended up standing here, eliminating your fucking need inside of a household. And so they stood here, right? It's not even so much that a great man needs a strong woman. Like, that's not the situation. Like, no woman's really strong. Like, compared to a dude, like, y'all are massively weak. But that's not your fault. You're not made to be strong. Like, and like the shit that you've been told over your whole life about like you being in charge of things and all this type of stuff, like, it's nonsense. Like, you're supposed to pick a dude who's strong and a dude who's great and a dude who's smart, so that you can trust him to handle his business, because ultimately he's responsible for you and the family. So if things go sideways, right, he's the one who has to deal with those fucking consequences. And so therefore, when there's a decision to be made, ultimately it's on his back. You know what I mean? And that's really the situation. And like, that's really where things come down to. That's why dudes are supposed to have authority over their females and their children, because ultimately they're responsible for them, even in today's society. But we don't give men that authority anymore, because of the fact that, like, we've stood here and told everybody that, oh man, women are so strong, and they should, da-da-da-da-da. But the reality is that 51% of y'all motherfucking vote, or the 51% of the voting public is female. So therefore they just acquiesce to y'all because they need y'all to get fucking elected. And We've destroyed
Also,
our
it
society
depends
thus
on
far.
what you mean by
But
it depends on what you mean by mentally weak. Like, if you're talking about coping with stress, men do that.
yeah,
Shit.
like there's no mental thing that a female's better at than a dude, and that's fine. You know what I mean? Like it is what it is. Men do need women, and that's the bitch, right? You know what I'm saying, right? Men do need women, and that's the bitch. Like, yo, you need to have, and even TFM admits this. You know what I'm saying? Like, he has a sex doll or whatever, and that's cool. Do what you do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not knocking nobody for nothing. Right now, you do what you do, man. You know, whatever you got to do to get by, I don't knock you. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you got to fucking stand here and have a drinking problem in order to be able to survive, that's your situation. Right. But like, you know what I mean? He stands and he takes care of her, you know what I mean? Brushes her hair, you know what I mean? He puts her arms out so he can get a fucking hug from her and shit. And like, yo, you need that shit in your life. Like it's something that it's a social grooming thing that's like still in us from primates. Like it's just something that you have to fucking have. It's part of our, you know what I mean, social fabric and our DNA inside of us, inside of our fucking brains and shit. You know, and that's the bitch.
If you are lonely on basis, it takes off your life as much as smoking, I think, 15 cigarettes a day.
Yeah.
Now 17 cigarettes.
Yo, yeah, absolutely. You know, yeah, and outlaw's getting worse. I mean, as they stand here and lock more men up, you know what I mean? Like fucking dudes get felonies, they end up losing their fucking voting rights more and more. The more men are ineligible to fucking vote. You know what I mean? That's the reality of shit. It's something like, you know what I mean, something like 5 or 6% of all men in the United States have a felony.
Well, it's moving up now. It's 8%.
Holy fuck, dude, man! I've been watching the numbers, but I ain't been watching them climb like that. I only get the fucking updates every day. You know.
And I laugh about it because they think women are gonna be like the great of leaders of our country, and it's not.
They can't
trying to be
raise
rude.
What? You can't even raise
How
what?
the fuck are they gonna? They can't even raise the dude. How the hell are they gonna?
Well, no, and like that's kind of the point. That's why, like, you know, this like kids go to school at 5 years old. Like that's always been a thing, like since like Samaria, since like the Persian Empire. You know, fucking like that has always been a thing. Like kids were taken away from their fucking parents at 5 years old, in particular the mom, and the kid was taught the trade of the father, or was taught to trade. You know what I mean? For anything that like if they had something that he was really good at that point, like here he was very interested in, you know what I mean, or if he had money, they would put him in a different schooling to be able to, you know what I mean, go do shit. And that's always been the situation. Like the fucking kid wouldn't be around the mom all day. You know, that's you know, that's what the hell the reality is in our society. That's what it's always been, and that's why kids go to school today at 5 years old. You know, it's no different. And don't stand here and think, you know, I mean, that schools are a whole new fucking thing. It's always been that way. In Boston in 1790, they boasted that, you know, I mean, they had a boast that 100% of individuals knew how to read. You know, like that just is what it is. You know, they've always had education.
It was a demanding thing that they had to learn it.
In,
How to read. They were be outcasted from that side.
In the great state of Kansas' constitution, there's actually a mandate for minimum amounts of public school funding, and that was Jesus. I don't even remember when Kansas was founded. A while ago, right before the Civil War.
Yeah. And Tracy, artificial wombs are not available for purchase at this point yet. You know what I mean? So that's where everybody's kind of talking about. And what was the other one? Fucking somebody was talking about VR sex industry. Let's be real. You know what I mean? Like fucking the VR sex industry. There's still the problem of physical touch. That's really the issue. Like you can have a fully immersive fucking sex, you know what I mean, fucking thing on VR. Doesn't matter. Like if you're not being touched by another human being, like you're still not having that itch scratched genetically. Like that's one of them things. You know what I mean? We were supposed to be fixing Detroit. We turned this into a MGTOW stream somehow.
Well, the problems are the fucking.
Yo, I don't want to like somebody.
It's the ghetto areas that are bad because what they do is
No, the whole
they
city
use
is fucked, dude. The suburbs are fucked in Detroit. It's not the fucking ghetto areas. Like, the suburbs are being taken over by bears.
we should just burn Detroit. Just
We need a purge.
Yo, we don't need a fucking purge. Like, yo, what we need is to get back to the individual fucking way of doing things. All right? Legitimately. No more motherfucking child support. No more welfare. No more property taxes. You know what I'm saying? And let individuals stand here and fucking feed them goddamn selves. All right? Eliminate all this local nonsense that they fucking have. Take all the weight off of everybody's back. Honestly, like, I would be fucking cool. Right? Legitimate. I would be cool if they stood here and, fucking gave away solar panels. Like, I think that would be a good idea. Like, so the individuals don't have to worry about fucking having electricity, you know what I mean? And just get motherfuckers completely off the grid and let these communities rebuild from the ground up. That's my mentality. Can anybody argue that?
no.
That's completely politically inviable as long as women vote.
I agree with you, right? But I'm just coming up with solutions. You know what I mean? Right? Yo, fucking Tracy, I know they have it, but they're not selling it yet. All right? It's not something that you can do. And it's a lot of it has to do with the legality of it. You know what I mean? Fucking that's kind of the situation. Yeah, fucking Gaijin Tonic. Fucking completely agree with you, dude. Gaijin Tonic. Yeah, there we go. Gaijin. That's what they call white folks in motherfucking Japan, I'm pretty sure. Right? Like, yo, that's, huh?
They call any foreigner gaijin. They call fucking Chinese gaijin. They call
Okay.
Americans gaijin. They call black people gaijin. Japanese.
Yeah, man.
Brown dye. That's another one.
Yeah, I legit, I don't know enough about fucking, you know what I mean, like the whole
You're
thing.
not weeby enough.
Yeah, I don't, like, I made a mistake about fucking China last night, and I said, I don't know if China eats dogs. I was like, I know Vietnam and Korea does, right? But I don't know
they
about
still
China.
do. China still does eat dogs. Yes,
China doesn't just eat dogs, they breed specific dogs just for eating. It's disgusting.
Hey, man, whatever you do, it's your business. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like, I was making a point to make sure that we ate cat last night. I was like, they were like, if you had to eat a pet, which one would it be? I said, it would be a cat, and it would be on national TV, and I would have a fucking PETA member, especially a female, tied up in front of me, watching me eat this with her eyes being forced open, because I'm so sick of furs mommies. Yo, Triggered Easily, welcome, my brother, welcome. You know what I'm saying? Fucking you. Thank you for coming.
I'm sick of seeing that shit.
But yeah,
I have a minimum weight on livestock that I will eat.
yo,
What really ticks me off though about these women is they have their cats in fucking strollers. I'm like, really?
yeah, and the dogs
I
and
get to see that.
the dogs in the purses, like, oh my god, it's fucking terrible, right? Like, yeah, I'm like, legitimately, I am not, I'm not an animal person. Like, I am, like, I love animals a lot. You know what I mean? Like, I'm fucking really good with them. But I always, like, I grew up on a farm. Like, I grew up part-time on a farm. And, like, I was born on the side of the mountain, right? And, like, we ate animals that, you know what I mean, we raised. And, like, all the animals had a purpose. You know what I'm saying? Like, a dog stood here. You know what I mean? Fucking, you know what I mean? All the animals, like a dog stood here and, you know what I mean, kept fucking like intruders away from the horses and donkeys and shit. And, you know what I mean, the fucking cats caught mice. Like everything had a goddamn purpose. And now, like, all these animals that people have, like, they have no fucking purpose. They're just spoiled fucking children for them, not so they don't have to have kids. And it's fucking disgusting. And I'm goddamn tired of it. You know what I mean? Legitimately. You know, fucking... Yo, lower property taxes. Yo, I say get rid of property taxes, and Detroit is never going to come back. All right. Detroit's never going to be Detroit again. All right. And like, maybe if we stand here and allow like GM and Ford and, you know what I mean, fucking Chrysler to sit here and make cars that, you know what I mean, that the average man can afford, we'd be all right. Yeah. You know what I mean? It was harsh, but we ate. Yeah, fine, like, yo, that's how the hell shit operated. Like, I came up in that type of manner. Like, you had to pull them giant grape-sized ticks off the fucking dog and shit from him running in the field. You know what I mean? You'd go and fucking cut, you know what I mean, fucking like 8, 9 acres of goddamn grass on a regular basis. And, like, you'd run over fucking snakes and chop them up and shit and go fucking fishing at the pond in the back. Like, it's not a terrible lifestyle, but, like, yo, I don't think that, like, dogs should be indoors, you know what I mean, fucking sitting here, like, you know, getting all fat. No, I know. And I hate small dogs too. Like, if you have a small dog, you should eat that motherfucker and get a big one. Yo, for fuck's sake. And like people,
the only reason why it's acceptable to have a small dog is the reason why they fucking bred what they call it, chihuahuas in the first place, and that's because they were fucking fast little goddamn snake detectors.
yeah,
They
and
would run around in the fields and get bit by rattlesnakes.
no, and
They wouldn't have to.
no, they caught rats and fucking mice and shit too. You know, I mean, that's what those fucking dogs were made for, right? Like, yo, that's just legitimately where the fuck it's at.
They also had them trained so to detect anybody try to rob them.
Well, that was the whole basis of a dog in the first place. It was like so that you had a fucking alarm for when something bad came in, you know, like a bear or a fucking gorilla or whatever the fuck it is came in to fuck up your goddamn community. You know what I mean? Or like you had like an outside crew coming in, you know, fucking like a dog, because that wasn't family at that point. You know, that's a situation. We don't need more fucking education. Education is not helping. All right? No amount of education is going to fix the shit that's going on. And legitimately, like, yo, I'd like to get rid of education completely.
It's not the education issue. It's the people, the socialism in the education. That's the issue.
Yeah, I think we need to get back to no women teaching
No.
kids over like the age of.
Like, how about this one? How about we IQ test kids, right? And like fucking like stop them from going to school at like 13 if you're over a certain fucking IQ point. Like, yo, that way, like, that kid can go and fucking learn what he needs to learn and not be held back in the fucking school curriculum with everybody the fuck else. You know, I can understand educating dumb fucks.
Kids fail out again.
That might help.
No, if they do that, then they have the government step in. You don't want that shit.
Exactly. Yo, like, again, and like we should have like IQ tests for fucking colleges and shit. Like, all these things should be a fucking thing. You know what I mean? Like, you shouldn't have dudes like me, like, out here. Like, I got when I was in high school, I beat up the gym teacher, right? And so they decided, right? They decided to give me an IQ test. I tested out. They said I had an IQ of 135. And like, yo, because they thought I was retarded, you know what I mean? Like, yo, because, you know, like I barely fucking could write English. I still can barely write English at this point, you know, and it's like, you can't put like motherfuckers like me standing here, you know what I mean, fucking like surrounded by morons and expect good results. Like, you're literally holding back the top shelf individuals who are supposed to be the people who are going to like make your society better, and keep them around these fucking retards all goddamn day. That's the most horrible thing you can do. Legitimately. You know what I mean?
Tracy, I disagree with you there. I gotta say that I don't care what the fuck IQ you have. If you are paying more in taxes than you're getting in whatever fuck thing, then I think you should be able to vote. And if you put your life on the line for this country, I think you should be able to vote.
No, I think
what you should be able to vote
IQ
for.
Also,
man, I know a lot of high IQ people who are dumb as shit.
I don't know many high IQ people who are dumb as shit. I know a whole lot of educated college people who are dumb as shit. How about that one? I know a lot of individuals.
Somebody with 150 IQ who's a straight up con.
Who's yeah, because they went to college. Like, yo, that's where you get that bullshit from.
I think it was a communist before it went to college, but I'm not.
Well, yeah, they reinforced that shit.
Because there was communists in college since the 80s.
Since the 70s. Like, yo, since the 1970s.
Really worse in the 80s because they were trying to do education for laser weapon guidance system.
Oh shit, Addie's out in the chat. What up, Addie? Welcome, my brother. Welcome. You know what I'm saying?
That was the reason why they were testing out kids back then, was see if they're smart, build missiles and shit, lasers.
Well, not.
Pretty sure that there were communists in the universities since fucking First and Second World War, to be honest.
Well, let's be honest here. Communists have been in college since communism was invented in a college, just to be. You know, like that's where communism came from.
Yeah, but they came from German colleges. It took a little while for it to migrate over here.
Well, Germany, Russia, you know what I'm saying, France. Well, really, France was the heavily fucking part of that shit. You know, and this is why, like, our position here on Pnoid News is that we should glass France, you know, and, and I'm not even saying go nuclear. We could just, like, carpet bomb the country and then just start planting flags. And we could just make it an American colony. I think that would be positive. We'll just steal all their croissants, you know, and fucking go live on their beaches and shit. Like, we'll be good to go. You know, that's my mentality, you know. Like, that's where I was at. That's where my mental goes. Like, we could take the Statue of Liberty and fill it up with bombs and throw it at the Eiffel Tower. Like, I think that would be helpful for everybody, right?
Hey, Pnoid, do you think we should buy Greenland?
I think so.
Yeah, you know what I mean? If we buy Greenland, I'm moving there and I'm going to, like, start my own fucking race.
You know
what I mean? Like, yo, there's lots of land on the coast, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the middle of the country on fire and just start, like, gaining new land. See, there's ways to do things. Like, yo, global warming is not a bad thing if it helps you, you know? Legit.
It's going to hurt. Only it's going to hurt is why California...
Well, Florida, New York. Like, yo, these are none of this.
There's some New Yorks are high the city.
Yeah, but like their subway tunnels will get flooded out. Look, man, none of this sounds like a bad thing, though. Let's be honest here, okay? Like, we could do with moving our coastwards inward. All right, legitimately, like fucking. There's nothing on the coast that's worth saving. Like, not a fucking thing at all. Like, what do we got? Maryland, D.C., fucking New York, Boston.
All right, but New York and Texas and California and shit, even Florida, it can go.
Yo, Victor, stop being mad. You know what I'm saying? You're upsetting the rest of the motherfucking chat and shit. Nigga, calm down, right? Like, yo. Yo, Victor, calm down, my nigga. Calm down.
Like a goddamn fiend.
Yo, look, man, seriously. Yo, look, here's the deal, okay? Like, I understand that, like, you know what I mean, like, females are not responsible for society. I get that, okay? And that's fine. Like, yo, they're exactly what they're supposed to be.
When were they helpful? Anyway.
Yes, but they serve a good purpose. They have babies, all right? They make pancakes, okay? Yo, they fucking I'm trying to come up with other things.
Make sandwiches.
Right, like, yo, like, man, look.
In the house, that's the only thing.
My mom used to make me cereal in the morning. Like, yo, they're not, they pack lunches and shit for kids. You know, and they put little notes in that says, thank you, I love you. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, that's a good thing. Right? Yo, man, like, they do exactly what they're supposed to do, but we got to get them back to that point. You know what I mean? Legit. You know, they get drunk and they have vaginas. Victor, if you've never had a vagina, like, seriously, it's amazing. You should try it sometime. Like, yo, it's fucking spectacular, dude. Like, you know, have you ever, like, jumped off of a building into, like, a big pile of, like, snow or something, right? And then, like, you know what I mean, fucking hopped out and then had somebody, like, fucking rub you down with secret oils and shit. And then, like, fucking go fishing and catch, like, 14 giant catfish. Yo, it's like that times 10, right? Like, yo, it's amazing. Yo. Pussy is the best shit ever. You don't understand how good it, like, if you find a good pussy, right? I mean, like, I'm not talking about none of that nonsense, right? Like, none of the like that terrible.
Never leave you if you find one.
yo, you would never want to leave that shit. Like, they'll have to burn the house down to get the fuck out, get you the fuck out of there. Like, yo, like, I'm telling you, like, there's some pussy out here, son, that'll change your fucking life. All right, legitimately. Like, man, look, I've had pussy in my time. I swear to God, all right? I've had pussy. It just squirted all over my dick. Like, yo, legitimately, you know what it is? You know what squirting is? It's like a broad peeing on you. And it's amazing feeling. Like, yo, dude, like, you don't understand how good pussy can be. Like, legit, it can change your whole brain. Like, I had the worst headache in the world earlier, and then I got some pussy. You know what? I feel so much better now. Like, yo, it has like fucking magic powers. It's like chicken soup, like in a fucking form of a human in a hole that's like wet and warm. Like, yo, my mouth is watering thinking about eating pussy right now. That's how good it is, all right? It's fucking, like, yo, you will lick a bitch's butthole. That's how good fucking pussy is. You need to understand how good it really is. Like, yo, redhead pussy is amazing because not only is it good, it will also stand here and, like, try to kill you, all right? And it makes you, and it makes you want to kill them. Like, yo, it is what it is. yo, I understand. Like, yo, Victor, I got you. Like, you have no idea how dangerous it is. Okay, like, legitimately, like, yo, you will come inside of a pussy and create a kid with a bitch who don't work or do dishes or clean or bathe. Like, yo, that's how good pussy can be. It'll fucking like throw your whole brain. Like, yo, this bitch don't work or cook or clean. Like, fuck it, nut inside of her and create a kid, nigga. Like, we're gonna get this done. You'll just pay the support. Fucking, I don't care. Right? Yo, that's how great pussy is, all right? It just is what it is, okay, man? Like, yo, legitimately, like, yo, you'll change your attitude once you've had some really good ones. And I understand they'll break your heart and fuck you up, you know what I mean? And then you'll find a new one, and, like, you'll bang the shit out of, like, a 23-year-old cocktail waitress whose vagina will vibrate while you're inside of it. Like, yo, I'm telling you, you know what I mean? Like, man, listen, to make you feel 100% better and forget about all the bad shit that they ever did to you. Like, yo, it just is, it's terrible and it's horrible, all right? But, like, legitimately, a lady in public, a whore in the bedroom. Look at her. See, this is why you gotta get away from Frank shit sometime. Come over here to the motherfucking place where you can be and say whatever the fuck it is. You know what I mean? Biological imperatives are difficult to break. No, all right? It's not that biological imperatives are difficult to break. It's that, yo, man, listen, enjoy your life. You only get one of them, nigga. You only go around this bitch once. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy yourself and experience some shit. Believe me, it's your life is worth losing.
On a more practical note, if a bitch can poke holes in one of your plans you're coming up with, it's probably not a great plan.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, it is what, and here's the thing, like, yo, I'm the type of dude that gets pussy because, like, I beat up other dudes, right? And like, yo, so that type of pussy tends to be really good because it's crazy, right? It's a type of chick who'll be out here swinging at a police officer telling him that he's not taking her dick nowhere. Like, yo, and that's some amazing shit, you know what I mean? Like, yo, Tracy, you want to ruin your life and you want your credit fucked up, and come see me, right? But yo, look, man, it's 9:30. I've got to go to work and go pick up this load and get moving up to Boston, man. I want to thank you two for coming and helping me the fuck out. TK Mal, you're always welcome. Colin, like, yo, I think it's your first time on my channel on some shit like that. It might not be. It's the second time. Well, still love you coming out, my brother. And thank you, everybody in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Victor Von Frankenstein. Remember, man, life is worth losing, and smile, my nigga. Tracy, thank you for coming out. Thank you, everybody. Guy Jen, nigga, welcome, my brother. Thank you, sir. Make sure everybody drops a sub on the way the fuck out. If you haven't already, hit that like button. You know what I mean? You have an 840 credit score. Yo, look, I'm looking for my next ex-wife, right? Like, yo, I gotta get the fuck out of here. I gotta go to work. I'll holler at y'all motherfuckers. Peace.